How to manage and reduce stress. The causes of stress. Stress is a part of life, but it doesn't have to rule your life. There are a number of things you can do to manage and reduce stress. First, it's important to understand the causes of stress. Everyone experiences stress differently, so it's important to figure out what causes stress for you. Once you know what your stress triggers are, you can begin to take steps to avoid them. There are many different ways to reduce stress. Some people find that exercise or relaxation techniques help them to feel less stressed. Others find that journaling or talking to a friend can be helpful. Find what works for you and make sure to take some time for yourself every day to de-stress. Physical causes of stress. We all know what it feels like to be stressed. But did you know that there are different types of stress, and each type has different physical causes? Acute stress is the type of stress we feel in response to a specific event or situation. It's our body's way of preparing us to deal with a threat. The physical symptoms of acute stress include an increase in heart rate, sweating, and a release of adrenaline. Chronic stress is the type of stress that we feel when we're constantly under pressure, whether from our job, our relationships, or our finances. Chronic stress can take a toll on our bodies, leading to problems like high blood pressure, heart disease, and anxiety. Emotional causes of stress. We all experience stress from time to time. It's a normal response to the demands of life. But sometimes, the level of stress can become overwhelming. When that happens, it can have an adverse effect on our emotional well-being. There are a number of different emotional causes of stress. These can include worries about money, work, or other responsibilities, relationship difficulties, bereavement, having to deal with difficult life events, feeling under pressure. If you're experiencing any of these emotional causes of stress, there are a number of things you can do to manage and reduce the level of stress you're feeling. Psychological causes of stress. We all know what it feels like to be stressed. Whether it's from work, school, family, or other life obligations, stress is something we can all relate to. But what exactly is stress? Stress is our body's response to any demand placed on it. When we perceive a threat, our body kicks into gear, releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. This fight-or-flight response is meant to help us deal with the threat, but it can also have harmful effects on our body if it's constantly activated. Chronic stress can lead to a variety of health problems, including high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, and diabetes. It can also impact our mental health, leading to anxiety. How to reduce stress. We all experience stress from time to time. Stress can come from our jobs, our families, our daily commute, or from a million other sources. While a certain amount of stress is normal and even necessary, too much stress can have negative effects on our health, our relationships, and our overall well-being. If you're feeling overwhelmed by stress, there are things you can do to reduce the amount of stress in your life. Below are some tips for how to reduce stress. 1. Identify the sources of your stress. The first step to reducing stress is to identify the things that are causing you stress. Once you know what your stressors are, you can start to develop a plan. Avoid or remove the causes of stress. If you find yourself feeling stressed, there are a few things you can do to try and reduce or eliminate the feeling. First, take a look at what is causing the stress. Is it a work deadline? A family conflict? Something else entirely? Once you identify the source of the stress, you can start to develop a plan to address it. If the source of the stress is something you can't change or eliminate, like a work deadline, try to find ways to better manage it. Can you break the project down into smaller tasks so it feels less daunting? Can you delegate some of the work to someone else? If you can't change the situation, changing your perspective on it can make a big difference. Reduce the effects of stress. It's no secret that stress can have a negative impact on our health. Chronic stress has been linked to a variety of health problems, including heart disease, high blood pressure, anxiety, and depression. While we can't always eliminate stress from our lives, there are a number of things we can do to reduce its effects. Here are some tips for managing and reducing stress. 1. Identify your triggers. What are the things that tend to trigger your stress response? Once you know what your triggers are, you can try to avoid them or be prepared for them. 2. Develop a support network. Seek professional help. It's no secret that stress can take a serious toll on your health, both mentally and physically. If you're struggling to cope with stress on your own, it may be time to seek professional help. There are a number of ways to get help for stress, including therapy, counseling, and medication. Therapists can help you identify the source of your stress and develop coping mechanisms to deal with it. Counselors can provide support and guidance as you work through stressful situations. If your stress is severe, your doctor may prescribe medication to help you manage it. Medication can be an effective way to reduce stress, but it's important to work with your doctor to find the right medication dosage for you.